Good morning and welcome out. We are still in South Wales. Where are we, Nige? Perryport. We're at Perryport. I'm out with Nigel still. Like I said, I've got spending a few days with him, so you'll see a few videos probably with me with Nigel. And he's just showing me around again. He lives down here, so we're only 2 miles away from his house, to be honest. And we've got these nice little twiggy stick things sticking out of the water, which is quite nice for a sunrise. Now, when we got here, it was piddling it down, so you can see him on full water regalia. But yeah, we've got a lighthouse down here, even though the light's just switched off, I think, by the looks of it. Oh no, it's still going. We have got a lighthouse going on down here. I'll just show you, give you a bit of a taster. Right down there. And what I've just noticed is the image from here, when I turn the camera around, I really like, because look at the reflection in the water. So I'm going to spin my camera around, I'm going to shoot that now the tide's gone out, and it's nice and clean. So, what am I doing? Shooting these little groins. These little sticks, these little twigs, and it looks quite sweet. I've got a variation of exposures because I've got the 5 shots brackets on, but yeah, I'm definitely going to have to move around, I think, and shoot this one because this looked quite good. So I'm going to stick my camera that I'm talking to you on my tripod, and yeah, I'll get back to you in a sec. But this is pretty, very pretty. Lighthouse in the background and a little bit of colour, so I'll be right back. Right, so I've taken a shot already. I was being quick because of the light in the sky, to be honest, trying to catch as much light as I can. So I've now moved forward a little bit, so I'm going to try and explain this one to you. The last one, or the one I'm going to put up on the screen right now, you'll notice that I've got the outside 2 marker points, making sure that they're not clipping the edge of the frame. The idea was to keep those 2 in and get this leading line of the shoreline leading you through to the nice sunlight in the background. So I've got all these little marker points in there, but making sure I've got a nice even one either side of the frame. With this one, I've gone a lot closer now, so I've moved onto the beach. I'm definitely going to have to bracket to get the little dark bits in and the shadows, but one of them is a right spiky little rock, and it's got these patterns obviously leading off of it where the sun's sort of moved away, and that's not the sun, sorry, the water's moved away, but the reflection on the water is really, really nice. It's going to be quite a dark, moodier image, I think, because I prefer that than I do the light one, but there's a little bit of colour in the background. I can just see the sun coming up over onto the top 3rd right hand side. When you look at the image, it's just casting some nice colours on it, so maybe I should just sort of move around and get these 3 and just the water and the hillside in the background. I think that'd be quite nice, and maybe get a little Sunstar just as it peaks out above the horizon. So maybe that's the best thing to do. See if I can move around this way, get a nice set. So I've got a bad set. I've got 4, but I like the 4. I'm not going to change it. I'm eliminating a lot of the sky because a lot of the sky is just sort of like a plain blue colour. There's no clouds. With this one, I was going to try and be a bit more selective with my photos, but I found that, because see, 5 works nice as well. Let me just take this 5. This is going to be one of those quick videos that shows a lot of little photos. I'm at f11. Let's go to f14. That might just give me a little bit more depth of field. And I'm going to shoot 5 just because I'm evenly spread for the 5 shots, and then you've got a bit of colour in the background. And then I'm going to home in more on the 3 if I can. I'm going to tighten it up on the 3. I end up with 4 because I've got a little tiny stump. That's the only way I can get it in. So I'm going to get that, and it's all about this nice smooth sand, the little patterns, those rocks, and then hopefully, if that sun decides, I'm going to first of all take the shot, and then I'm going to wait, and if that sun does decide to poke its little head out, it's going to be slap bang in the middle of the shot, and I'll whack it up to f18 or f22, and then I'll see if I can get a little bit of a Sunstar. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, really, really nice morning to start off. The rain was a little bit horrible to kick off with, but no, this is quite nice now. And we've got colour, and we do love a bit of colour. This is one of those moments again that I'm going to mention. I was just talking to Nigel, who was on my left, and he suddenly started walking past me. As I look round, there's a puddle around one of the stumps, or a couple of little stumps, and I think it's going to reflect the light. So I'm really torn now. I think I've got this shot. In fact, if I just take this shot now, it's got a bit lighter. I might just move over and get the puddle, because I think you can reflect the backlight in the puddle, and that'll just double up the colours. So as much as this is nice, I think that could be more interesting. So I'm going to go and squeeze over next to Nigel and get the camera set up. Right, so hints and tips time. We don't get many of these days, do we? But look at this. Okay, I'm going to spin you around. I've come really close to Nigel. There's my camera, there's Nigel's, but I can't take the shot at the moment. He's finishing up. Now, if you look at this little section, this is what we spotted. Now, you see the way these sticks are interacting with each other, and where my camera is here, these two become one. That is a massive no, no, no. If you move over just where Nigel is and look at the back of his camera, yeah, now all these sticks are separated. So I've got to get my camera from there somewhere as close as I can to here, and Nigel's going to move his in a minute. He has actually finished, and then I can separate these sticks. Look, there it goes. Look. Thief, stop! Thief, stop! That's Nigel's camera. What are you doing? And that's the whole point of trying to separate these sticks. You see, now I've got the separated sticks. I can set up my composition. I've got the wide angle lens on, which isn't ideal, but yeah, we've got some reflective light. I'm going to sort of put it in the middle with the sun slightly off to the left-hand thirds, so it's not slap bang in the middle. And I'm going to focus on the puddle. In fact, I won't. I'm going to focus on that front one, and then I'm going to take the shot, and then I'm going to wait. I'm at f/18 at the moment. Just give me that depth, and hopefully a Sunstar if the sun pops up. But I've said many times, don't be afraid to have a look and see what other people are shooting, because it will influence you. It will give you ideas and tastes, and you might not have seen something. We both saw exactly the same thing at the same time, and as we turn around, you could see the puddle, and you just think, hang on a minute, there could be something. You didn't see it first, shut up. He's shouting at me down there. He saw it first, but he actually did a split second before me, so yeah, you can have that. It must be 8 o'clock because my watch is buzzing on my wrist, and it's set to 8 o'clock at weekends. So basically, if I'm not up, get up. So yeah, this is a nice little shot. This could be just a little video down here for the sunrise, and then I'll move on for the rest of the day because you've got more planned for me later on. But yeah, cracking little start. We've got a lighthouse to take a picture of as well, and I am going to get one, even if it's just a record. So yeah, cracking little shot. I'll put this one up now for you, and see if we can make another one. And this is all this plan of taking less photographs, just taking 1 or 2. No, it's not going to work. Not going to work at all. I had a look at the one that's over there. There's a bit of an arch in it. I took it, but I wasn't so impressed. And I'm just wondering whether I'm actually a bit low, because when you stand up, there's more of a reflection in the water that's left. The tide here has gone out really quick. It's moved away from this very, very fast. The sun is just coming up, I think. Not that I think because of the lights out. I think what I'm on about is just coming to the horizon line, because it's getting dead bright over the background. There's a lovely orange glow in the top of the image, and I'm hoping I can bring out a little bit of that orange on the base of the image as well. I think I can. I've come back over to these stumps, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 5. I've got an odd number. Everything works in odd numbers in photography. Shoot 3, shoot 5, shoot 7. I don't understand why, but we always work in odd numbers. It's better than having even numbers, apparently. But you shoot what you want at the end of the day. But yeah, I've got 5 stumps. I've got a small little pit where I put my tripod just now. I'm gonna have to spot removal and clone that out. But yeah, we've got the nice tall one sticking up. We've got a reflection going on. We've got some pools of water either side of the image just to sort of add a little bit more. Yes, the tide's gone out, but it should reflect that light. We've got this beautiful orange glow. The cloud's actually glowing orange. It's quite a weird look to it. It's not like it just looks hazy. It looks an odd colour, but it's a lovely orange glow to the sky. There's even pinks going on down here. Look at this, beautiful pinks going on down this end. We've got a surfer that's just running down to get in the water as well. Yeah, random. Some surfer dude. Look, there he goes, running across the beach there. And we're also out with Nigel's friend Nigel. So we've got another Nigel. He's been shooting for about a year now, and I did tell him it's not cheap to come out with me in the morning, but he wasn't having none of it. But yeah, no, it's good to be out with another person and to meet someone else as well. A new subscriber, can't beat him, can you? But yeah, what a beautiful pink glow behind us. It's really quite. Should I be shooting that direction without stepping in the sand? Again, another one of those rules of thumb: don't step in your compositions. Let's just have a look this direction just to see if I can. Is it worth shooting that way? Is it not? I don't think it is. I think because of the bank, which is just basically concrete, it's not very pretty. See what I mean? It's not very pretty there at all. But yeah, let's keep focus on this. If this sun does pop up, we may just get that little Sunstar. And then here it comes now. It's actually coming up right now. So let's get going. Let's give it a focus. I focused on the foreground already. Let's take that one, and I'm going to focus on the background and make that sharp star in the background. Is it going to give it to me? Let's focus right in the background and see if we can get that Sunstar going on. You just have to bear with it, but the sun is coming up. Right, so I'm not getting the Sunstar that I wanted, so I'm going to try and force it by putting the sun behind one of the stumps. So I'm going to have to be a bit more technical with the shot. I may get an overlap. If I get an overlap, I get an overlap. I can't really help that. I'm going to try and force the sun behind a stump to give me that Sunstar, which I think would look quite nice. It's got to just clip the edge of the sun to make it work. And I don't think the sun's powerful enough, which is a stupid thing to say, but I don't think the sun's powerful enough to give me, it's just not there. I think the problem we've got is, see, I've got an overlap on the stone, on the things, and it doesn't look good. Sunstar's almost there, but it's not going to work. So I'm going to come back, I'm going to use the long shadows. I'm just going to make the most of what we've got with what we've got and forget about the Sunstar. Get my composition set back up and work on having these nice colours and stripes coming across the shadow lines. So we're going to do that. I'm not going to get the Sunstar, so let's knock this back down to something more manageable, like an F14. And we're going to take one more, I think. You can see the glow on my face. And we're going to dip the sky out and just keep a little bit of sky. It's all about the foreground, the shadows leading from the bottom left hand corner, stripes. It's all about the colour in the sand and what's going on right here in front of me. And that is a beautiful, beautiful little image. Well, nice. Quite pleased with that. Yeah. Considering it was raining this morning, we've got this lovely little orange glow in the background. Very cool. Here he is. Look, this is this new subscriber. Look, we've got Nigel. Say hello, Nigel.
Hiya, how's it going?
This is Nigel. He lives down here as well. He's got one of them funny accents. You know what it's like when you live in South Wales. They don't sound right, do they? Not as good as my Bangladesh Welsh, is it really? Did you get a good shot? You think so? Yeah. See, he lives up the road. They're so lucky to live on this sort of stuff. Isn't that just amazing? But yeah, you have to send it to us and I'll put it on the video. Okay. In fact, Nigel can do that as well. We'll have one of Nigel's as well, just so we can embarrass him. No, we won't. Nigel's a really good photographer. He's a cheeky bugger. I think what we'll do, looking at it, just looking in the distance, there's a nice bit of flat water in front of the lighthouse, and you've got this nice little curve as well coming round. You can see it over my shoulder there. So I think we're going to move up. I think we'll go and get a bit of a lighthouse shot, I think. Give that a go. But yeah, sun's up now. This shot's done. I'm just going to take one more while the sun's up, just in case it's a bit brighter and casting a bit by shadows, and we're going to move on. So I've got myself another shot. The lighthouse is in it. I've not got very close to the lighthouse. I'm using quite a wide lens. I've got my 18 to 55 on, and I'm quite wide, probably near on 18mm. Shooting at f14 to give me that depth of field. I'm not going to photo stack them because when I get home I just don't use the focus stack ones. But I've got these lovely little sand ridges leading into a pool of water with a couple of little rocks in it, and then the line of light going off in the background. It should be toned. I'm wondering whether to put the polarizer on to sort of bring the glare down, but I actually think the glare works, so I think we'll keep it. Yeah, I've got a wispy cloud in the top. You know, it's nice and soft. The sun's gone up behind the cloud now, so it's softened that as well, but there is colour. If I underexpose it to have a look at it, there is some nice colour there. In fact, I don't even need to bracket anymore, I don't think. I think I'm going to turn my bracket. I've got my hand right in front of your face, haven't I? Sorry about that. I'm going to turn my brackets off because I'm in the histogram, so again, I don't tend to use them. So I'm going to take this shot again with it slightly darker, a nice little bit of colour in the background, and these nice ridges and lines that lead off. Yeah, this is another nice little shot. and I'm going somewhere else in a little while. So I'm not going to tell you where, but I'm quite excited. It's about a 25-minute walk each way, but yeah, I've been promised to see something very special. Nigel too is going to take me, because Nigel's got to go home to a Christmas party for a little while. So yeah, I'm going to have a couple of hours with Nigel too, and he's going to take me to a new place that he's not been to either. So should be interesting just to finish the video off. This just gets more and more and more, doesn't it? Just as I walk forward, I see this snaking sort of reflected line, the lighthouse in it, a little bit of colour still on the sun, because the sun's low and it's behind the cloud, and another image done. It's just, I've said this before in the past and I've upset photographers, but photography is easy. Landscape photography, seascape photography, it is easy to do. You walk along, you see something that you like, something that catches your eye, you put your camera down, hit the shutter button, bang. Well, you might have to do a few things in between, like focusing and stuff like that, but yeah, bang. And I work on aperture priority, so I never have to think about what my camera's doing. As long as it's pointing in the right direction and it picks up a shot, if I bracket it, it's there every time. I don't have to worry about setting in the exposure to this and to that and twiddling my dials. It's in there all the time, aperture priority. I'm actually shooting a little bit bright as well. I've got a couple of stops up, which is not a problem. Not a couple of stops, but about 2/3 of a stop up. But yeah, lead in line, simple, done. Can't believe that. And I just took a few images back that way. Oh, he's keen. Look at him, he's keen. Can you see him on the floor down here? He's a keen photographer, laying down on the floor. He likes to get something a little bit different. It's going to be interesting chatting to him in a bit. Yeah, moving up to the lighthouse now. So I think probably another image maybe, and I'm going to go to the surprise, and the surprise are shipwrecks. I'm not going to mess around. They're shipwrecks or wrecks of some kind. I've seen Nigel's images of them. They're fantastic. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to seeing them, and that'll be a nice second half to the video to see the shipwrecks. But yeah, very good. Love this. Nice little location. He's got this 20-minute walk from home. Jealous or what? So I told you I was out again, and I'm with Nigel too. And I did mention this morning he was a newer photographer, and we've just been talking about stuff, and he's picking me mind for hints and tips. I'm chucking in a few freebies for him.
Make the most of it.
Yeah, definitely make the most of it. Yeah, we're coming up on the shipwreck, and I think this is the one that Nigel says is the bigger one. I'm not sure, but there are a couple down here apparently. This is Nigel 1. He's the one that sent us down here. And Nigel 2's not been here, even though he lives here.
That's right, yeah.
But yeah, we can see the shipwreck. We've been walking across this beach, and it's a dead easy beach to get across. It's sand and it's solid, so it's a cracking little walk, albeit a bit chilly and a little bit windy on the old ear rolls, but it's nice. Now, it's not the perfect conditions for this. I'm not going to pretend and dress this up to be in a really good shot, but it would make a cracking sunset image because the sun will come down over the top of the wreck. But yeah, I can see it. We're heading towards it. I'm not even sure whether this is the first one, and Nigel says go past the rocks to the second one. The second one might be bigger than this one, but this is definitely a starter. Definitely a starter to get the juices on for part 2. So you can see the sun's bright and behind me. It's blue skies, so it's not ideal. If we can shoot low, cut off the top of the sky, there are some clouds on the horizon line, so we'll have a play of it. Record shots if nothing else. So I'll talk to you again once I've cut for my breath and we're closer to the wreck. So we're getting a little closer now, and the wreck's definitely prominent as a wreck and not just a few bits of wood sticking out. I don't know anything about this wreck, but I will try and find a little bit of information when I get back. I'm not sure whether Nigel knows or the other Nigel, but I'll put it up on the screen as I normally do, just to tell you what it is, maybe how long it's been here. I'm hoping the wind isn't too bad on this microphone because it's on the outside of my coat, because I'm not wearing my normal underlayer to clip it on the inside, but I'll cover it a little bit for you. Pretty cool looking wreck. Like I say, I will get an image out of this. I'm not going to get close to it straight away because it might clean, keep the footprints clean. Background, I'm gonna use the clouds as a background to make it more cleaner image again. We've got a little bit of reflective light on the sand, which is quite nice. And this is quite a big boat. This is not a small boat. This, when it went down, was probably quite a big one. It's got quite a girth to the hull. So yeah, let's make something of this. Let's have a little look. Go for a simply sort of like quite a simple classic, pointing through it, getting the lines and the character out of it. And then it's always one to note for a return journey for a sunset. But if you live down here, it's well worth it. If I remember, I'll stick up a couple of Nigel's images of stuff he's taken down here, and it'll give you an idea. Yeah, now we've slowed the pace down, we've gone into snail speed, so I'm sort of looking down it now, and if I flick you around, this is kind of how I'm seeing it. I'm going to zoom you in, so I'm seeing it like this, seeing it straight down, because I've got the line on this side, I've got the line on the other side, and I've also got these little bits going down the middle, so I quite like that. So I'm going to start off maybe a little further back, maybe a bit closer, and then we'll get the tripod out and get something from here. So yeah, we're going to use that as a clean image to start with, and then I'll see if I can get closer and go with a wide angle. So my camera is now on the tripod, we're on and we're set, ready to go. I'm going for a very simple image on this one. I've got the horizon on the top third line. I've got a line coming from, let's just have a check. I've got a line of light coming from the bottom right of the image. So the wet line is sort of giving you a bit of a diagonal through the image. Now it's not the best of diagonals, but it's definitely something there. I've taken the shipwreck and put it slightly off center because I think it looks better. I am bracketing f11. Let's put my camera back on f11. I am bracketing because just in case there's any sky detail I need to try and keep in, but it's a very, very simple shot. The only thing I'm going to try is putting the polarizer on. Now this would be right nice with a little bit of water around it. It really would. Now I'm going to have to get up close to the camera to have a look and see if the polarizer makes any difference. Now does it or doesn't it? Okay, so the difference it's making is it's really pulling out the sky. So now I've noticed that, I'm going to go a little bit wider because I can see the cloud formation above it, and I think a little bit wider probably works better to have those cloud lining, so it's not just a sunshine image. So again, I'm going to take another shot. I've got people right off in the distance. Can I just get the frame before they get in? So this is a record of the wreck. It really is. There's nothing fancy about it, nothing clever, nothing clever, simple as. It's just a picture of the wreck on the beach, and it is, I'm going to tell you again, it is a big wreck. It's nice because there's no footprints around it. We haven't had loads of people in the summertime running around it. It's winter time, so it's cold and not many people out. So I'm now going to move up closer, go wider, so you're starting to look down it and get more of an emphasis on all the detail on the bark and the barnacles and the shadow lines. There's lots of shadows inside because we've got this sideways light, which is really good. So that might actually make to the picture and actually work. So yeah, I'm going to move up closer and set up for another one. So I've come a little bit closer and I've moved to the left of the wreck a little bit to give me more of the structure, and I'm getting a reflection. But I've just had the camera up in the air and lower, and this is the difference I'm starting to get with it. So the shot I'm looking at, I'm going to try and zoom you in and give you an idea of roughly how close I am. Right, so there's our wreck. We've got this reflective sand in front of us. I've come to this side now, so we've got a bit more coming round. We've got the reflection in the wet sand below it, which I quite like. The clouds up there look great with the polarizer on, but by shooting this high where the camera is at the moment, it's looking quite standard, quite bland. Wreck, sky, reflection. By coming down here, by moving the camera down, I start to get these ripples and lines coming in across here, especially over this side. You come this side of it, you start to get these little ripples where the sea's left the sand. So you're getting the ripples poking the then wreck up into them clouds and having the wreck on the top third instead of the bottom thirds. I think that works a little bit better. One of my pet hates is that little bit there. We don't have it set sort of there, so it's touching that horizon line. That's a big no-no. Either go down and get it above it, or go up and get it below it. We never have that clip in the horizon line. That's a definite no-no. So that's my plan now. I'm going to get the tripod low, get some of these ripples in, and I think there are a couple of shells around here, so I'm going to see if I can try and get a shell sitting right in the foreground. That might work, and then but I'm going to have to focus stack that. But we'll see if we can find one that sits nice. There's one in front of us, or a couple I might have to just flip over if I can do it without messing the sand up. But yeah, I'm going to do this, get the camera down low, get this shot, and I'll try and set up for definitely a closer, wider, getting the shadows in and everything. Right, so now we've got a bit closer. We're right on top of it now, virtually within about 6 or 8 feet of touching the edge. Now, as I've crept up, I've noticed the odd footprint that's in there. If they stand out on the photographs, I will spot remove them and try and get rid of them. But I've stopped just short of the wreck. There's a really good reason why. And this, I don't normally shoot in this nice sunlight, but this is okay. This is really good. It's got a lovely side light. It's relatively early. I think it's 10 o'clock-ish, something like that. Whatever we're on. My phone's buzzing. Oh, it's 11:30. But the light's so low because it's winter time, so we're casting these nice long shadows, which is great. And it's even casting some shadows on the little sandy ways, you know, like the little waterways and the veins and stuff in the sand. It's casting some really nice shadows on them as well, so they're actually defining them. So I'm going to focus stack on this. I'm F11, horizon somewhere in the top thirds. The polarizer is on. I'm just going to check it. The polarizer's on because it's just giving me something on those clouds in the sky. I am getting a slight dark center bit, but I'll live with that. But it's about these veins that are leading off to the wreck. Really, really nice. I'm bracketing because I've got deep shadows, so there might be a little bit of barnacle detail I need to pull out. And then I'm going to focus that right on the first timber. That then would just make sure I've got everything sharp if I need to, because this is one of those shots that needs to be sharp. You need to see the barnacles and all the detail. But yeah, that's a cracking little shot, really, really nice. I'll kind of see if I can show you what I'm on about, but yeah, I like that one, I do. That's probably one of the better ones. I've got the sticky bits on the side of the hole just pointing above the horizon. It's the best I can do with getting the camera in the position it's in to get the leading lines and these stripes as well. So yeah, really quite nice. Really nice wreck. This is ever such a big wreck. Really, really good. And it's the only thing on this beach, so you can't miss it. Right, so I think I'm quite possibly done on this one. I can't shoot into the sun. Sunset would be great because the sun will be over that side, so you get a nice sort of clean sky, and you've got, I think there's a nice beautiful rocks and mountains in the background, but yeah, I can't shoot this direction because of the shadows. I think I'm done. I've got a few shots, I've had them up on the screen, you've seen them, so I think I'm kind of done on this one. I could go super wide, get the 10mm on and go super wide on it, but I don't think I'm going to get anything different out of the shots. I like what I've got. It's a great record of being here. I actually think they work quite nice with these sandy lines, little veins and that. So yeah, I think that's me for this one. There is another wreck, so I believe further along, because I've seen Nigel's picture of it and it's a squarer looking wreck. So we're going to carry on walking along. I'm looking across the horizon at the moment. I'll even show you what I'm looking at. I'm sort of looking across this horizon, as you can see. Zoom you right in as far as it'll go. And I can't see anything that sort of looks wreckish. There's a little something going on just there, I'm not sure about, and there is actually something right over on that edge over there. So I'm going to head right over that way. It's probably another 10 or 15 minutes walk. Once I've been over there, if it's not there, I'll come back here. But yeah, this is good. This is good. Not a bad part 2 to the video, eh? I don't know what time we're on for length, but so be it. Go and get yourself another cup of tea and I'll see you at the next one. We have now moved forward. We are up to the other wreck. Now, I said this was the bigger wreck, didn't I? Well, I'm wrong. The wreck we've just been at is obviously the bigger, wider wreck. And we walked inside the wreck as well after we finished taking pictures, and I've got a couple of snaps that I'll just pop up on the side of the screen so you can see them when I'm talking. But we got inside. I can't believe how perfect the timbers are that are under the salt water. They're really, really well preserved. Really, really are good. And I took a couple of snaps of that as we were in there when I was doing my B-roll as well and stuff. But yeah, that is definitely the bigger wreck, and you can see by the way the bottom of the hull is coming out of the water. It's obviously snapped off at some point, which has dropped it down, which is why it's as wide as it was. It's definitely not, it wasn't as wide as that, but it was a long old boat, that is. There's another shipwreck here. There's some remains over there of another one. There's some more remains over in the distance of another one. There's a few wrecks on this beach. It's for whatever reason there is. Now there is a board in the car park, so I'll have a look on that when we get back and put the information up in these corners of the names of these wrecks if they've got names. Now this is one I think that I saw Nigel shoot. I thought this was the big one, but it's actually quite a narrow, straight hull boat. It's quite a small dinky boat looking at it. It's big enough, but it's a lot smaller than the last one. This one I've started further back again. Great, we've not got no footprints in it. I'm absolutely loving this, but we've got in texture in the sand, and it is a lovely rippled texture. So again, I've got a little bit of sky in it. I'm not even going to bracket this because there's no need. The histogram's bang in the middle. I will focus stack it for whatever reason I need to. I don't think I even need to photo stack it, and I'm just shooting side on just to give you a taster to get us going, and then we're going to move up onto the wreck. Hopefully we can find some lines, get the actual shape of it. No barnacles on this one. This one's a lot cleaner because it's obviously a high tide and rather than a low tide wreck, so it's getting less sea life around it, and it's a lot more wood looking, so it's quite nice. But these lines are pretty cool, so I'm going to start off with this, move on forward and fill me boots and grab a few more shots. I don't know whether I'm going to walk over to the other one. I might do because I'm here, just to have a look, just for the sake of it, but I may be inclined to get my drone out. It's not too windy, and if I've got enough battery life, I might just buzz it across the top of these wrecks to have a look at them. We'll see. Right, there is a couple of nice shots here as well, so I'm just making the tripod a bit lower, and I've come up closer, and with coming up closer I've got this beautiful reflection in the water, so we will be able to get a couple of nice images. And we've got some tide lines as well, you know, some ripples and stuff in the sand. So Nigel's just in front at the moment shooting. He's just having a go from up there, so he's up that way looking back. I'm going to be looking at taking a section of the boat and having that going out then. I think that's going to be the better way of doing it, and having these ripples that are down in this bottom corner. So that's my plan. I just need to get in a position where I think it works, and then wait for this wind to drop down again to be able to get the perfect still water. But it's only part of the boat. I only want the part of it leading out, and I think it's quite nice. Lift it up to pick those clouds up. Focus on. This only works because of the low light. If the sun was higher, this wouldn't work because it's casting the shadows on the ripples, and that's why it's working, because it's casting them shadows. Without them shadows on the ripples, it wouldn't work at all. So that, I think, is quite nice. I'm going to take it now, the first shot, and I'm going to show you the second shot once the wind's calmed down and we get the reflection back again, because that's the important bit. He's loving his camera, he is. He's really loving his camera. He's like, oh, I love this camera, love it. He's shooting with a 5D Mark II. What a camera to get started with, eh? But, yeah. Mark 1, sorry, 5D Mark 1. What a camera to get started with, eh? A proper full-on camera. Thinking about a Mark III. I said go for it. Yeah, so this shot, it's not floating me boat. Oh god, oh god, oh god. It's not floating me boat, in all fairness. It's not quite like the other one. I do love this curvature, but this definitely needs something to bring this thing alive. It needs some evening light, some morning light. It needs something nice other than this plain blue direct sunlight. The added bonus we have got is these little cuttings in these little lines, these little gullies, the veins in the sand. I quite like them. There's a little bit of rope on the end. I'm going to try and move a little bit further around until I try and get it all in, but as I do, it's very shadowy in the middle. But I might just finish off with this last one of the rope on the end and say that's enough for this video, because we have crept on a little bit. So I've done that shot. Let me just move along and have a look. The only problem we've got with this last one is we've got footprints in it, which I do not like, but there is lines, there is a nice shape to it, a nice flow to the image. You know, everything does fit, but I've got footprints in there, so I might just go for this 18mm again, focus f11, focus just in front of the camera and take that. I'm going to bracket this one, so this is probably one of the last ones I'm going to take now on the camera, just because of the way the sun's casting these really nasty shadows on the inside, and I think we've got the best of it anyway. So I might just get my drone out, have a quick buzz across, and it's Worm Rock I can see in the distance, isn't it?
Worm's Head, yeah.
Yeah, Worm's Head. Yeah, it's Worm's Head I can see in the distance that I mentioned earlier. Been there before on a video, if I remember. I'll put the link up for you. And there's another shipwreck down there actually. So this actual stretch of water is obviously treacherous, which is why they got a lot of lighthouses along here. So yeah, I think I'm going to finish here. I think that's enough for the video. It's long enough. I've shown you lots of pictures of the wrecks. I'm going to have a little scout round. There might be some hidden detail shots I might take on this one because there's lots of little textury bits on it that I'll pop them up at the end for you. So yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give us that thumbs up. It means a lot. It helps the algorithms. And share the video with some younger people. I had a look at my analytics last night for the first time. Most people that watch my videos are from 45 to the end. Basically, with the highest peak between 55 and 65, which is probably because I'm a miserable old git and miserable old gits like watching me. But yeah, share it with some younger people, see if you can get them involved, see if you can get someone to watch this silly old bugger running around with his camera. Really would be good and helpful for the old channel. Till next time, ciao for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I've already said that. I'm off. Bye bye. See you soon.